JJ Solomon.
This Corey Bradshaw, Mr. RTB, and Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast.
It's your boy, Mr. RTBA, Mr. 214, Senor 214, Senor 214, Mr. Undeniable, Mr. D Boys Can't Touch Me on my worst day. Right here with my partner, my brother from another, Mr. JJ Solomon. What's popping, my guy?
What's popping, bro? Lost my voice a little bit this weekend, so you're going to have to bear with me, homie.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it was a big weekend for us. We was down there in Houston for two cards, actually, the Red Owl card and, you know, the card on Saturday night for Ryan Garcia versus Duarte. And today, we have a real special guest, you know, and a coach and a daughter who I feel was robbed in Houston on Friday night. And it's a pleasure to bring them on with us today. Mr. Coach Kenny Ellis and Miss
Mia Ellis.
Mia
Ellis. How y'all doing?
Man, what's popping, Coach?
Ain't nothing, man. Just getting back in the groove, you know.
What's popping, Mia?
What's up? I'm good.
Oh, man, you know, first off, I want to apologize for Texas judging. They absolutely suck.
Yeah,
sick, man. Sick.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I want to apologize for that. You know, we had a front row view, Coach, of the fight, and it was real disappointing to see Mia come out there and put on an excellent display of boxing, and not only boxing, catching her with the big punches, and to see her hand not raised, I think that was a total disservice for the sport of boxing. And, you know, what's your thoughts about Friday night, Coach?
It was a disgrace, man. There's a lot of biased stuff going on. Number one, the one judge scored it a draw, and the two judges that overruled it, they from Texas. So it was an unfair call, you know. In the back before the fight even started, they had us doing some crazy shit. When the ladies first came in, they had to take a urine for drugs and pregnancy tests, right? So they let me take a urine analysis, and then they come back. Once the first fight got started, they said, you the next fight up, but you can't get in the ring until you do another urine analysis because we forgot to give you the pregnancy test. So they asked for some more urine back to back. So I said, she's not a German Shepherd. How can you piss back to back?
She's not a German Shepherd.
Well, if she don't give us another urine, her fight is scratched. That's what they're telling us in the back.
I'm the second fight. The
first fight is already going on. We the second bout. It's not our fault that the commission's team ain't doing their job.
And what you saying that, Coach, I did see you come out there storming to the ring.
It was a lot of shit. It was a lot of shit going on.
Was that what it was about? Because I see before the fight, I seen you storm out to the ring and you looked absolutely upset.
I was going to get the commissioner because they was telling us our fight was up next. But if she don't urinate again, her fight is going to be scratched.
Damn. So I seen you post that about Texas judges. Was that before or after the fight?
That was before the fight.
You came in kind of knowing, feeling some kind of way.
Yeah. Then okay, once we got that straight, right? They came to us and said her opponent gloves got a suspicious oil on it, so they want to change her gloves. But because her gloves got a suspicious oil on it, they want us to wear the same type of gloves that she got. No, that's not our fault. We got our own gloves to wear. But they want us to wear the same type of gloves that they give her.
So you had to switch gloves, Coach?
No, we wound up getting past that, but
they wanted me to change gloves because her gloves had oil on it. But that don't have nothing to do with my gloves. My gloves is already approved.
Shit was crazy, man.
And my thing is, when I watched that fight, you know, I was absolutely shocked, Coach. You know, me, I keep it fair across the board. I watched Mia come out there and show excellent ring generalship from mid to long range, kept her opponent on the end of her punches. I'm talking about the way that she was throwing her punches so beautifully and calculated, which was catching the other girl. You know, it was a pearl, art that she was showing on Friday night. And for her to get robbed, Coach, I had to call Texas and Texas judges out. I don't care because I'm from Dallas, Texas, right? I'm from Dallas, Texas. I let the truth come. Me and JJ of the Spit Bucket Podcast, we let the truth come to the power and the power come to the truth. Because in this boxing game, we are all as one. You can't say because you from her, oh, you should be biased for the judges. Like I say, that was absolutely absurd. It was shocking. And, I think they definitely need to go back and look at that and reprimand all parties that was involved to come out with that scorecard like that, and why Mia Ellis wasn't, her hand wasn't raised at the end of the night.
Well, I'm going tomorrow morning. I'm going here to my commission, and I'm gonna protest. I'm protesting it.
What's all involved with that process?
I'm gonna find out tomorrow.
Will that work, man? So I got a question. We know Texas has been right in the center of some real history's biggest robberies, controversies, whatever you want to call them. You're coming into Houston. You're fighting, and I'm not here to get it racist or nothing like that. Hell, I'm a Mexican dude and all that. So you're in Texas. It's a little bit heavy Mexican crowd. Angelica Rascon, and she put up a great effort too. So I'll give it up for her. But it's going to be a heavy Latino influence there. Are you guys prepared for that coming in? What's that conversation like before?
Man, listen. We found out so much after the fight. The girl dad is sick, right? And they felt like she got robbed her last fight. And they want her dad to see her win a world title before, hopefully he won't pass, but before he passed. So it was like it was given to her so he could sit before anything happened to him.
Mia, with the shocking loss that you had, that could degrade a lot of fighters and make them question themselves if they want to do this. Tell me your thoughts and your feelings on how you feel after that decision.
Right after, I did feel like that until I started seeing the comments on it. Everybody was saying the same thing. Then I was like, dang, maybe
me and Calvin.
It wasn't me. It was the judges. Like, everybody saying the same thing. I didn't get not one comment saying, no, that decision was right. Everybody saying that I was wrong.
Me and Coach Calvin was at the airport the next day. People was coming up to us and, man, that shit was terrible. People that was at the fights saying that shit was terrible with that decision last night. We still getting calls, texts today. People texting us that we don't even know, telling us that we won the fight.
And Coach, me and you had bumped into each other early, but like I told you, I didn't want to bother you after that.
I got out of there because shit might happen, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you was out quick. I remember that, man.
The mood I was in, it could have crashed the whole show.
Yeah, and that's definitely understandable. Not just because she's your daughter, but she's the fighter that you train. And one thing I see about you and Coach Calvin, y'all put in all the effort of training, the blood, sweat, and tears. These judges and refs probably who ain't never been inside that square circle, they don't understand the passion, blood, sweat, and tears, the weight cut before the fight that fighters like Mia Killer B. Ellis, had to go through to get to this moment. And I think it's definitely unjustified, the decision and what she had to go through.
No doubt. Go ahead, Coach.
She came all the way down to 126 for this fight, man.
Okay, yeah.
That fight was at 130, so we come down to 26 to fight this girl, and they stabbed us in the back, man. I could have killed somebody that night.
I get it.
You see, when I saw you walking away without much to say, I thought that you were okay with the decision because it didn't look like. But now sitting here
like
talking
before the storm,
Facts, man.
I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared that night. Thank God.
Well, this question for me, listen, we've seen this happen numerous times, multiple times a year. What's your thought process now? I mean, sometimes folks get too hurt. I know Correa asked a similar question, but are you back to the drawing board? Are you ready to grind and get back up the rankings again?
Oh yeah, I was in the gym today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was in the gym today. But I think with the people speaking their mind, saying that I was wrong, that it helped me. It helped me get past it. Like I'm past it now.
She'll never fight in Houston, Texas again. And I advise any prospect coming up that see this podcast, stay the hell out of Houston because they're gonna give you an unfair decision. Anybody that's thinking about fighting in Houston, Texas, any prospects, stay the hell out of it because if it go to decision, you're gonna lose. They did it with Pernell Whitaker and Chavez. They did it with Polinaji in 09. And they did it with quite a few people over the years. Houston, Texas judges are fucking biased. They racist. No offense to you, my brother.
No, bro. I call it what you
Guys are
see,
racist
man.
down there, man. And somebody can die behind that shit, man.
And look, this is the thing that we preach for. You know, we want fighters like Mia, daring to be great. She dared to be great when she didn't have to come.
Listen, if I was living in Houston, Texas, and I was going to a restaurant and I saw one of them judges that did that shit in the restaurant, I'm gonna split his fucking wig. You laughing?
No, I get it. I get it. No,
I'll fucking screenshot his ass and send his pictures to somebody. Say, come get this bitch.
No, I get it, Coach, because
that's
like
how shit happen.
No, that I get it, because like I say, we want fighters like Mia. Like we don't want this to be degrading to her to where she still don't want to dare to be great. And that's my thing. When fighters like Mia come from Baltimore, Maryland, she coming all the way to Texas, that's showing you she daring to be great. And when she get in the fight, it's just totally, unfair.
Exactly. Now, if she would have lost fair and square, I'm good with that, man.
No facts, man.
That. But don't do that. That shit ain't right, man.
This might be an obvious, stupid question. I got a daughter, and I was telling the other media guys that were there, I don't see how Coach does this. Just throw your daughter in there. And then I'm sure when you see results like this, it makes it that much more fired up. How do you keep your composure and saying, I know I'm her pops, I know I'm her protector, but let's get back to business, dog?
I move different.
Are you able to?
I don't show expressions, man. When this shit hits you, it's a surprise. That's the way I've been all my life. I don't show expressions.
Hell yeah. Well, I want to just change the conversation a little bit, something a little bit more fun to talk about. Mia, all we were talking about on that ringside was your trunks. Whose idea was the money? The money hanging out the trunks.
A lot of people asked, was it real? It was real. It was $1,000 in each pocket. It was a fashion statement, help keep the American dollar alive. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people working against the dollar. So that was our way of telling the people, keep the American dollar alive. You know what I'm saying?
I think because they couldn't roll me in my money, they rolled me in a fight.
So that was actual money on the back of her trunk?
Yeah, that was real money.
It was $1,000 in each pocket.
So like, because every time I seen you, Mia, the outfit, it be superb. Who is your fashion designer, and what are your thoughts? Do you
we
think
can't tell that?
Okay, we don't have to tell who the fashion designer is, but do you think out the thought of what you want, or is it, or you just give your designer an idea of what you want and they come up with the product?
Yeah, I just I give him I tell him what I'm looking for, and he just build off of that. He throw his own little stuff in there, and I'll be like, yeah, that's fire.
I'm trying to take one more look at that. That's real money sitting
nice.
in there.
Real money. Yeah, that's real money.
So that's pretty confident. That you walk into a fight pretty confident that you're not going to be on your ass at all the whole night.
Right.
That could have backfired.
Right.
And they still stab us in the back, man.
Yeah. So, Coach, what do you and Mia go on next from her? Like, what is the plan? Because a lot of people around the world, like I said, we looking at it like Mia didn't lose this fight. And
I appreciate you. We gained a lot of fans off of this fight. We're looking to fight on Gervonta Davis next card. We don't have a set date yet, but we're looking at the top of the year sometime. If not, February, she should be back in the ring.
Mia, what was the support, going back to the legendary gym, of all the fighters there? What was the support you got when you went back?
When I went where?
When you went back to the gym today, what was the support you got? What was the guys telling you?
The same that we've been getting all weekend. Like, yeah, they robbed you of that. But keep my head up, keep going on to the next, and the next person will get it.
As a matter of fact, it wasn't one Baltimore fighter robbed that night. It
Hey,
was two.
shit
Hell
terrible,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I see that.
Shit terrible.
Coach,
No.
listen, Texas is this is just the thing with Texas. Like, this ain't nothing that I'm making. I love the state I live in, but the judging sucks. And this has been a thing with Texas over the years. So my thing is, like, when you were thinking about this fight, was it almost a time when you said, hey, Mill, I think we need to wait on Javante Tank Davis fight and get on that undercard? Or did you just think she hadn't been in the ring, in a little while, and you wanted to, get her in the ring and keep her fresh?
At the fights, just before when the shit started going on in the back, we was like, I need to pull it. I should have pulled it off the card.
He asked me. He was like, "You good?" I'm like, I'm in my head thinking like, I don't really want to do it because they already put me through a lot. But I'm about to fight. Like, I'm about to walk out.
They was dragging us in the back, man.
It was like it was a gut feeling. Like it's like they planning to do something.
They was dragging us in the back.
What they was putting me through.
And then while she was waiting to do her second urinalysis, the other girl was gloved up. She was gloved up after the first fucking fight, warming up.
Yeah. So
whole time she had to mix.
How did she know to take a pregnancy test?
Yeah.
How did they remember to tell her about the pregnancy test, but they forgot to tell me about it?
That's a great question. And
that don't make sense.
That's the type shit they was doing us back then, man. And I tell you,
she was done everything but for me.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man, somebody can get hurt behind that shit, man.
Somebody can get hurt, obviously, what you're saying, but just not being mentally ready for a fight with all these distractions. You can take the fighter's focus off. So obviously the emotions, but also getting ready for the fight.
Then you get a judge to make the fight a draw, and then 2 Texas judges overturn it. All that shit was to give this girl a belt so her dad could see her win a championship before he passed.
Yeah, Mia, well, with all that being said, Mia, you still, like Corey and I both said, you still went out and put on a hell of a show. Talk about the fight a little bit. Did you see anything you haven't seen? Anything you weren't prepared for? What'd you see? What'd you feel about the fight itself?
I feel like, yeah, I could have pushed a little bit harder. I think I could have got it out of there if I pushed a little bit harder, but I do think I did enough to get the win. My punches was more effective. A lot of her punches wasn't even relevant. She just was throwing them.
And then the ref, she got hit with 4 low blows. The ref didn't say nothing. She was pulling Mia's fucking head down all night. Nothing was said.
The ref stopped us in a fight at least 4 or 5 times, telling her, pick your punches up. 5 times, somebody's supposed to get a point taken or something. If you keep warning them, pick your punches up. I'm not complaining at all, though. She hit me low. I'm not complaining at all. She pulling my head. I'm not complaining. Hitting me in the back of the head when I'm down. I'm not complaining. But no point getting taken.
Man, that was hard. I mean, it wasn't hard to watch because it wasn't my intentions of thinking that after the fight I seen that Mia wasn't gonna get her hands raised. I was like, okay, yeah, this is another one. Because if anybody got 2 eyes and can see like me, they seen at one point in that fight the girl was like a statue. Mia had her so confused she didn't know what to do. She was just standing right there, and Mia was just getting off her punches. So that's why I think that was absurd. I think it's justified that you say never to come fight in Houston, Texas again. Never. I know it's just I know that you will never put Mia through that again to where you'll bring her.
I'm gonna continue. I will continue to tell anybody that I know on the East Coast, any coach with any prospect, do not go to fucking Houston, Texas. Never.
But I don't just think it's Houston, Texas. I think it's Texas as a whole because we've seen a lot of robberies down here in Dallas too, Coach.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you, I remember specifically now as we're talking more about the night, I wasn't even keeping score because every time I looked at it, I even told the fellas next to me that I said Mia could just stand in front of her if she wanted to. That girl got nothing in her shots, and that was maybe the second round. So Yeah, man, I was a surprise to see it. I wasn't surprised because of where we were. You know, nothing surprised me when we were home. Again, that's not a shot at Texas. We just stating facts. You know, it is what it is. One more question though I had. We seen this picture. Did you hear anything from 50 Cent after the fight? Houston's
Not yet.
own, huh?
Not yet. That's my man.
Ain't that a bold statement right there when you got one of the best, most selling movie document producer? He got your shirt on, Mia. He got Mia. He ain't wearing Javante Tank Davis shirt. He got Mia Ellis shirt on.
Crazy.
That's different right there. That 50 Cent, that's different. We ain't talking about no average local Joe. We talking about 50 Cent, and he popping with that Mia Ellis shirt on. Like, what's that feeling right there?
To be honest, not the how you just said it just hit me. At first, I didn't think about it, but now that you said it, that's crazy.
Yeah, and that's just good. Just know, we're gonna continue to support you. I called Coach earlier, and I was, because I want to call him the same night or the day after, but I said, let me give it a couple of days before I reach out to Coach, because, if I was a coach, because at the end of the day, yeah, we can say you his father, but in that boxing ring, you are the coach. And if I was the coach, I needed a couple of days to settle down from watching my fighter get completely robbed like you did that night, Mill. But it's not going to go unnoticed. We're going to make sure we keep continuing to push this message. I think the judges, the organizations, especially the commissions, since women boxing is going up right now, as a matter of fact, I think they put more into the man boxing than they do the women boxing. And women boxing is going to the next level. It's going to the next level. And I don't like that. I think women, should be get treated the same. I'm not saying they up there and pay it, but I'm talking about when we in there in boxing, and when it comes to the rules and everything, I think women should be getting treated the same. And this is a total injustice. And this is a bad look on how women are still having to fight.
It's okay. It's okay for a lady to ref 2 men for 12 rounds, but they can't fight 12 rounds with 3 minutes. But they can ref.
How do y'all feel about 3-minute rounds?
We good with it.
Yeah, that's what I train. I train 3 minutes.
We good with it.
Yeah, because when I was watching that fight, I didn't see Mia tired
at all.
I didn't see, and as a matter of fact, this right here. If I was fighting you, just say if I know I'm not a woman, Mia, but just say if I was a woman, and I was fighting you, and I look on the other side of the ring after the round, and I see you standing up. Weren't you standing up in between rounds?
No, I wasn't.
She was sitting tall,
I was
though.
sitting tall.
Okay,
breathing real good.
Yeah, but like I'm just, I'm just, it's just amazing to me. Texas, you're amazing. You boxing judges, the commissions, y'all need to get it right. We can't keep letting these fighters, whether you're a man or a woman, get an injustice. And I think it's not justified the way Mia Ellis, AKA the Killer Bee, was robbed that night. And I think this is something that we're going to continue to talk about on a daily basis. We done had you on here before, Mia, and hopefully we could continue to have you on here so this message could keep going forward, right? And my main thing is don't let this be a downfall to you, right? Because one thing about life, you got to go through it to get to it. I'm a perfect example. Starting this boxing game out, I was the hottest thing going, right? I had a fall in it, right? I had a lot of controversy. And the one thing I had to do, I had to keep working my way up. I had that I never got that I can't or I quit in my mentality. So my message is for you, just to keep going. And I always say this to everybody, and this is what I live and breathe by. Stay focused at the goal at hand, especially when you got a father, and forget him being your father. He your coach in that boxing ring. When you got a coach who is passionate as your coach, Kenny Ellis is, just stay focused at the goal at hand. Don't let this make or break you. You know how everybody feeling about the fight. Just continue to keep working hard and grinding, because now with this happen, it opened up everybody's eyes, and we're really paying attention now.
Everybody that's watching, can somebody take this video and send it to the Texas Commission?
Oh, definitely that. Now, Coach, not to switch topics, right? But you put up a post. I don't know if it was yesterday or today. You said Ryan Garcia, he'll beat Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Really?
Do tell.
No. He'll beat Devin Haney.
Oh, he'll beat Devin Haney. You think Ryan Garcia will beat Devin Haney?
Yeah. He take more chances, man. He's stronger too. And
You don't think so? You base it. Did you feel that way before Saturday, or did you see something in Ryan Saturday that made you change?
I felt that way. I felt that way before Saturday, because he got the power, and Haney get touched every fight. You know. Did you see anything that were you impressed by any adjustments now that Ryan's training with Derek? He looked like a dedicated Ryan now. He looks stronger. You know. He did a lot of moving in that ring, and he looked strong the whole time.
And speaking of the top fighters, we know that y'all got the top of the top, you know, grade A top, in Gervonta Tank Davis. You know, when these guys first came on the scene, right? And I'm not speaking of Devin Haney because I think he's the truth, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I think he watches Devin Haney. But when you guys first came on the scene, well, not you guys, because Tank was already here, but when everybody else started coming up the scene, it was just such uproar about this guy could be Tank, this guy could be Tank, this guy could be Tank. Now, Coach, when I seen Shakur Stevenson fight, that brought a new reality to me. And this isn't no knock on Shakur Stevenson, but this brought a new reality to me that maybe this guy isn't what we thought he was, Coach. And I say this why. When you got an opponent in there like that, and I don't want everybody to tell me now that this guy, what's his name, Jay? Who he fought?
You talking about Edwin De Los Santos?
Yeah, don't tell me that everybody knew about this guy, because no, they didn't. Nobody didn't know him. We didn't know how good he could fight. And he came in there and he made Shakur, well, Shakur won, but he looked like an average fighter, Coach. And there's no way now that I could say that this guy has a chance at Gervonta. What's your thoughts?
Well, he said his hand was hurt, right? I said give him a benefit of the doubt and let him run it back.
Coach, what you mean is it? You think his hand was hurt?
Chance at running back.
I don't know. He said it was. I don't know what he was feeling that night. If that is the case, let him run it back and see if there'd be any difference in the fight.
Look, I got the same sentiment you do. Like when a guy's been that great, that long, he's shown that much, he's got a projected future, a great one. Look, we saw an average performance with Tank Davis against Isaac Cruz. And, you know, obviously he was hurt.
Now,
still,
hurt. I'm going to tell you who he hurt his hand on. The kid that knocked, what's the kid that knocked Rolly down in the gym, knocked him out in the gym, in Floyd's gym?
Carmel?
No. The young prospect Floyd got. It was after Tank.
Richard Hitchison?
No, after Tank fought Rolly, another kid knocked him out with a left hook in the gym.
He always fight with Floyd when Floyd go overseas to do the exhibition.
Light skinned kid.
Damn.
He like 4-0, 5-0. Well, anyway, during the camp, Tank was working with that kid, and Tank hit him in his head 2 or 3 weeks prior to the Rolly fight and hurt his hand. I mean, the Isaac Cruz fight, and that's where Tank hurt his hand at with that kid.
But see, this is my thing right here, Coach. You could clearly see that Tank's hand was hurt. He wasn't throwing it. If you go look at the Shakur Stevenson fight, he was still throwing that punch.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
So my thing is, Coach, I don't know. I ain't no doctor. I can't say that, you know, his hand wasn't hurt or it wasn't. Just me looking at it, I can't see that. But my thing is, what I done seen Gervonta just show, he a class above these guys.
Yeah.
Well, the point I was going to make about the hand, though, is to Corey's point. He still fought. And listen, I've been big on Shakur. Big on Shakur. I had to tap the brakes a little bit, but I'm still very big on Shakur. As you were watching that fight, were you okay with what you were seeing, or were you saying something must be wrong?
He looked like Shakur to me in that fight.
Regular old Shakur, just normal Shakur.
If Shakur was familiar with him from sparring him previously, he would have jumped on him more. But that's a guy he never sparred, so he wasn't familiar with him.
I'm afraid that we see Shakur and Tank fight, it's going to be slow paced like that because you got some counter punchers. You got kind of. Would you imagine?
Tank can switch gears. Tank can switch gears. If it's a person in front of Tank that can possibly outbox Tank, Tank ain't gonna let it go the distance. He gonna erase that problem.
And that's my thing right there. No, that's my thing right there.
Tank gonna make some adjustments in the 12th round. Ain't gonna never come.
No, I totally disagree. Because, and look, and the respect to Shakur Stevenson, but you know me, I gotta let the truth come to the power, and the power come to the truth. Listen, when De Los Santos swung at him, it seemed like Shakur had whiplash the way he was trying to get away from that punch. And listen, Coach, this is just the truth. If Gervonta Davis swung at him, and the amount and abundance of times he gonna swing at him, if he was acting like that against De Los Santos, that makes me know he gonna act like that plus more against Tank. I'm sorry. Look, respect to Shakur. You're gonna have to show me. But what I seen out of you, I think Tank
is way faster than Santos. He way faster than Santos.
And he hit harder.
Hit way harder than Santos.
That's a scary thought, man. And like I said, it's got me thinking different. I had Shakur, and again, you guys are right here in front of me, and I'll just tell you, I had Shakur, Tank, Devin. It's kind of how I ranked that 3, and not a shot at Tank. It's just the way I seen it playing out.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's your opinion. You're right.
Yeah, and hell, I think Tank and Shakur just kind of a little bit levels a little bit higher, but it does change everything for me on the way I see how that plans out. But speaking of Devin, moving up to 140, taking a title shot with Regis. Everybody's saying Regis is dangerous. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm going with Devin. Regis don't hustle enough, man. 4 or 5 rounds. No, his previous fights he faded after 4 or 5 rounds, and he's not one of those fighters that go after you. He get you coming in with counter shots and shit, Devin gonna be too athletic for him.
Close fight or nah?
Nah.
I'm right there with you, Coach.
Yeah, I got Devin out. Devin's just gonna out hustle him, man.
I mean, I see it different,
But he do have a puncher's stance. Yeah.
I don't know who's gonna win this fight. I'm stunned on it because, like I say, we done seen Devin Haney get hit with some shots before that made him do the stanky leg, right?
By smaller guys, too.
By smaller guys. He going up against who they saying is the top 140-pound fighter and who hit the hardest. So, I don't know. I want to see because this is his first fight going to 140. I'm not saying Devin can't do it. We see he is the favorite to win this fight. But I want to see how your chin is going to get tested against Regis' program. That's another thing. I want to go back to Shakur. Like, am I tripping, Coach, when I say this guy, he don't like to be hit? I know this is a hit and not be hit, but when it's time to fight, you got to get in the trenches and you got to
you got to fight. It's that hit not get hit sounds good, but I tell everybody one day a boxer's gonna have to bang and one day a banger gonna have to box in their career.
Facts, bro, and that's the way I seen that. And when look, I even told I told Shakur you're going to bounce back, and I'm confident he will. I'm curious how that's going to be with a puncher. I thought we'd see Shakur and Tank next year. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I don't know. I just don't see it. So what you there in the camp? What are we going to do? What are we going to see next? What do y'all think about Tank?
We 135 pounds, man. We want whoever in the 135-pound division. And whoever, if Shakur and Tank, the last 2 standing out of the 4 kings that they was talking about 4 years ago. 5. It was 5 of them. And they the last 2 standing. Yeah, it's only right for them 2 to fight.
I mean, it is. But do it make sense now for Gervonta Davis?
If Tank don't fight him, if Tank move up to 140, they would say Tank ran from Shakur.
Nah, I don't look at it like
that's
that.
What
no
they.
more.
That's
what
they
gonna say.
They can say what they want to say. Coach, I don't see it like that no more.
It's only right. Give the people what they want to see. You know.
No, I'm not saying that I don't want
Hell
to.
yeah.
I'm not saying that I don't want to see the fight. My thing is that like Shakur had a big crowd. I mean, he had a big crowd, and he had all of us home watching him on Thursday night. And to get in there and put on a piss poor performance like he did, where he had I'm serious, Mia. Like he had everybody walking out the 4th, 8th, and 12th round before, the decision was even made. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to see a guy play Patty K Baker, man, or go back to the color purple like they Nettie and Celius and me and you are never far. Hey, Coach, I don't want to see that. I want to see a fight, Coach. You hear me? And Shakur shows, he done showed against big punchers, he don't want to fight. And
he don't necessarily have to bang, but he got enough pop where he can get somebody respect. Just like a Whitaker, just box his shit out, dominate him.
Coach can't slip that under me. Hey, Jay, you see what Coach doing, right?
What? You understand?
you see what he's doing.
Whitaker wasn't a big puncher, but he was there.
Yeah, that's my problem with Shakur. There's good defense, and Shakur's got great defense. But his
IQ is one of the best.
I agree 1,000%. But I want to see, I consider defense a shift movement, a little small movement just to stay the hell out the way. It don't need to be nothing big. Now, Whitaker did a lot of big shit, obviously. Yeah. Shakur just wasn't in the pocket at all. And I think that's the problem people had because they called it running. Shakur didn't want – you can't call it a bad performance if you did what he wanted to do. I think Shakur did what he wanted to do that night. That's all I'm saying. Now, that's not what we wanted, but he did what he wanted to do. So was it a bad performance?
And what he did –
was a snoozer for sure.
Yeah, him doing that, he lost any hope of getting a Tank Davis fight next year. Because you got to understand – in my opinion, Tank is at a position right now, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, right? Screw the belts. If I'm Tank, I go after the Ryan Garcia fight again. I don't fight Shakur Stevenson. I don't care about all of this. None of what nobody else said. Because Shakur not getting in there to actual fight. It's about entertainment. I don't care about his ring IQ. And, Coach, this is the question for you. I don't even think his defense as good as everybody said it is. Because, Coach, good defensive fighters, they're going to be in the pocket and show their defense while other punches coming at them. Shakur runs around the ring. So my question to you is, how good is his defense?
That's a good question, man. I never really seen him. I just see him eluding punches. I don't ever see him make moves off his defense, you know?
It got me, bro, this weekend got me thinking all different now, dog. Yeah. I'm not kidding.
He don't make them miss, make them pay. He just get the hell out the way, you know?
I got Tank beating Shakur as of right now. I got Devin beating Shakur. I think if Shakur want to fight, because it's gonna be hard for him to get one right now. We got to be honest. He's gonna have to accept his role as the super with all capitals, D-side.
Hey, do you think Dev expected Shakur to take that 25%? Like, do you think he ran from? I'm just gonna cut it. I hate the word ran. I hate the word duck. But you think it was a calculated move to move up to 140 and to fight the boogeyman, who I respect the hell out of Regis, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see much threat from Regis. Do you think it was a calculated move to get the hell out of 135 and go and chase another strap at 140?
He couldn't make 35 no more without struggling. He had to go up. It was a struggle, you know? If he could have stayed down there without hurting himself, he would have forced Shakur, but he would have been weak as shit. Devin can fight 147 right now.
Hell yeah, dude's enormous, man. Yeah, so
he can fight 147 easy.
We'll see how it pans out.
So, man, Mia, like I said, I apologize for these Texas judges with that horrible decision. It's good to know that you was back in the gym today. That showed the fighter in you. I would have had my head down. You know, it would have been probably hard for me to go to the gym.
All that, hey, that shit sound good, man, but that shit wasn't right, man.
No,
Well, let's look forward. Like, look at this. It's New Year's time. Let's talk holidays. What's your resolution, Mia, next year? Because you've been. This is the second time you've been on the show, and we appreciate you. What do you want to be talking about next year? Name 2 or 3 things that you want to be sure you knock off that resolution list for New Year's in regards to boxing.
Fighting for that same belt again.
Immediate rematch.
Do you think they do that?
Not in Texas though.
But do you think they do it though?
They probably don't have the heart.
No, she told me I was too big.
This is a catch. A lot of people don't know. Mia weighed in at 121, and she weighed in at 123. But she's saying Mia is too big.
Mind you, the fight was at 126.
But
we
Mia,
could have fought at 122.
yes, Mia weighed in at 121, and she weighed in at 123. But Mia is too big.
Did you know that you was? Did you know that you was at that weight, Mia, or was that calculated?
No.
We knew we was under. We knew we was under 26. We didn't know we was 121.
Yeah, we ain't know.
She was feeling so good. She was feeling good, man.
It just showed the hard work and dedication. So you said tomorrow, Coach, you're gonna file a grievance?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I can't just like lay down on this shit, man, because that shit ain't right. Shit ain't right, man. I wish I could handle it different, but it's just boxing, you know?
Yeah, no, this ain't. That's what I'm saying. Like, it ain't just boxing because this ain't like it's an NBA where you got 82 games or the NFL. It's fight by fight. That's what make it tough, you know, on fighters. It's fight by fight. It ain't like, you know, you could play abundance of games
every year. Your record start over fresh again.
Yeah,
facts, man. It hurts, man. It's hard to see it. I can still see the disappointment in y'all's eyes, man. But you know, shit, like, hey, y'all gonna bounce back. And Mia, you remember what this feels like, you know what I mean? And use that to drive you. That's all we can do at this point. And file a grievance tomorrow, obviously. So go get that, and you know we'll share this out as much as we can.
Send it to the commission down there, man, because them motherfuckers, man, they terrible.
Hey, Coach, I've been covering boxing almost 9 years.
Let the commissions hear me say, I'm warning everybody, stay the hell out of Houston, Texas. Any prospect, stay the hell out of Houston, Texas. Stay the fuck off them boxing cards because them judges down there is crooked. They corrupt, all of them.
I agree. 100%.
And the commissioner down there, he won't even take the time to go back and look at the fucking fights because he a part of this shit. He a part of this shit.
Yeah,
I've been dealing with it almost 9 years covering boxing. I'm like JJ said, just use this to motivate you, Mia. We seen you out there. We seen the skills and the display of what you got. So just because the judges said what they said, everybody else know what they seen, right? So we just want you to keep that and keep going. But before we get up out for her, can you tell everybody where they can follow you, Mia?
You can follow me on Instagram at MidKillerB1.
Coach Kenny Ellis, where can everybody find you at?
Coach Kenny Ellis, all social media.
Hey, Coach, I appreciate you taking out the time.
Anytime.
Come on the show. Hey, Mia, appreciate you. Hopefully we could do this soon again. Maybe we can get you before your next fight. But we hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening.
Yeah, however we can help from Texas, man. We look forward to having you guys back. Y'all have happy holidays. And like Corey said, we appreciate y'all staying up late with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all take it easy, guys.
All right, my man.
All right, Mr. Bradshaw.
Oh, man.
That was you can see how sad she still was, and you can still see how he the coach was, brother.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to say nothing to him that night after the fight, because you could just see the fumes coming from him, JJ. Like he like a bull. He was walking back to that dressing room, and I understand in that moment like that, I wouldn't want to talk to nobody either. It's just like us going to one of our kids' game and see them get completely robbed or getting fouled all game, and the ref ain't saying nothing or the line judges ain't saying nothing the whole game, and they just let it go on and it hinder, you know. So yeah.
And like Coach said, dog, it was a great venue, but it was real tight and packed in there, and one wrong move could spark all kinds of shit getting thrown and stuff. So I'll commend him for getting the hell out of there, even though he was heated like that. So,
but you do see what Coach Kenny Ellis doing, right?
What do you? I didn't catch what you were saying.
You see what he doing, right? You see how he trying to steal gas like Shakur, right? He want everybody.
Oh yeah, they trying to do like they're doing Regis.
You see, he want everybody still think Shakur is this, because when he getting there with Javonte Davis, he not gonna be able to run from that punch. Because like Coach said, Javonte just as fast, just as quick, and he hit hard. Wherever you go, I can go, sir. But you
Bro,
said
what? So Shakur have a bad night. I mean, what you're saying is you implying that Tank didn't want to mess with him before he had a bad night?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying was Shakur wasn't on that level yet to where it demanded a fight.
I see
right?
What you're saying.
And this right here was the fight. Not saying that this was going to get him the fight, but Shakur, you got a nationally televised audience on a Thursday night. It's a big race weekend with all these casuals in there. This was your time to show up and show out, and he didn't. And Shakur talks a lot. Matter of fact, this guy is arrogant as they come in. I'm not saying that you ain't supposed to be arrogant, but you know, like when you be arrogant like that, it could backfire on you, especially before the fight. Say F the media and F all the fans, right, JJ? But like I said, you could be right, Jay. He probably had a bad night, you know, but I don't think you're supposed to have that type of bad night. But like I say, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on this fight, right? But I hope that Shakur takes all this criticism in and he take it in to a humble place, not to, these guys or criticize. No, take it into a humble place and come out there and show us you is who you said you was.
Facts, dog. And look, man, I've had a lot of time to think about this. And you know, when we're debating and getting in these boxing fights and verbal wars, I just wish people would stop and listen, or stop and look from the outside in a little bit and get out of your own head. And so I have to do that, right? You know, I know, hell, we spent the whole week together, how big I am on Shakur. But I hear certain little things from you. I hear certain little things from B-Hop. I hear certain little things from a couple other people that are big, you know, that watch the sport. And I think the part that got me thinking the most is what we were just talking about with Coach Kenny, is that defense. You look at the numbers, and no, you can't touch Shakur. His numbers are right there with Floyd Mayweather, his Mayweather career numbers. But it looks different, and that's because Shakur is not there in that pocket. And is that a real defense? You know what I mean? So the question's out there. I'm big on Shakur. I've been too big on him just to turn it over after one fight. I'm not going to do a knee-jerk, crazy reaction. But I do have a little bit of question there now, and I hope you're able to.
And that's perfect. Time. That's perfectly well said, JJ. Like, we're not saying that Shakur, we ain't gonna throw him in the dirt, but Shakur, this is a performance that you was supposed to be criticized about, especially the lead up. You telling us you this, you telling us you that, and you getting there and stink up the joint. So I'm with you, JJ. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, right, and just say this was a bad night. But Shakur got to take all this in. And he has to, if he want to keep fans, JJ, fans, I'm not saying come in there and be reckless, Shakur, but if you say you the number one fighter in the world, come in there and show us that. You got to come in there and entertain us. Just because you say you're the number one fighter in the world, you got to come in there and entertain us as well without being reckless and show us you that guy. And he has the opportunity, his next fight, whenever that's going to be, to show us that. I hope he take all this in, right? Because this guy said, I got to stay out the gym. No, sir. You need to be in the gym. As a matter of fact, you need to go get you an offensive coach who can show you how to stay in that pocket because, like I said, against skilled athletic dudes, to me, Shakur don't know how to stay in that pocket. And tell me if I'm wrong, JJ, but against flat-footed guys, who ain't as athletic and who don't have as much power, he look excellent in the pocket. But against athletic dudes, who got power, he don't
my only response to that would be, I don't know anybody who is less flat-footed than Lomachenko, and Loma saw something in there that he blatantly avoided that fight with Shakur. He wanted Devin rematch. He going to Kambosos now. There's no reason he didn't fight Shakur for a belt. So my response to that is, yeah, we just saw what we saw. We've seen him with some performances that are questionable, a little bit boring. But why would Loma avoid him? Loma coming in from all angles, you know what I'm saying? So, and he ain't flat-footed. He's certainly not flat-footed.
He didn't avoid him. Shakur, in my opinion, you know, he didn't avoid him. Shakur stinked up the joint, JJ. And if I'm Lomachenko, I'm looking at that like.
I'm talking about before this fight. The reason he was fighting Edwin before Frank Martin avoided him, it was Lomachenko. Before Loma, it was Isaac Cruz.
We can also say that Loma wanted his get back at Devin Haney too, right? He was trying to get that get back at Devin Haney, but then Devin Haney moved up to 140. Is that? I mean, could we say
it
that?
all unfolded? But Shakur was there available for Loma, dog. So, well. We can talk till we're blue in the face.
No, you right. Like I said, I just want to see Shakur step up next time. That's all I want to see. I want to see Shakur take it to another level. I want to see him hurt this because we did the same thing with Devin Haney. I know I did. I say, Devin, what is you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You need to step up and show us you can fight. And he did that against Vasyl Lomachenko after hearing all the criticism. And he showed up and he showed out, bro. So I just want Shakur to do that. Like, what did you apologizing to Floyd, Andre Ward, and Terrence Crawford for? No, apologize to the fans. Apologize to the real bosses of boxing. Anything else, comrade?
I like it, dog. I like it, bro. Well, man. Excellent. What's it? Episode 50.
Hey, man, we were so into it. We didn't even announce that.
Hell yeah, episode 50, bro. So, hey, we'll be back tomorrow night. It'll just be me and you. We got a lot to discuss. We like you said, we covered two cards over the weekend, and we got a big old super duper fight this weekend. So we will be back tomorrow. Guys, we ask that you please go and like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff to not just our YouTube platform, but all of them, TikTok, Twitter. We on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere around. So y'all check it out. But Corey, I appreciate you, dog. You got anything else you want to chime in before calling?
Hey, man. Salute, man. Y'all know how we rocking. This is Split Bucket Podcast. Like JJ say, hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend and tell a friend about the Split Bucket Podcast.
Y'all have a good night. Take it easy.
This is JJ Solomon.
This Corey Bradshaw, Mr. RTB, and Mr. Lee Boys can't touch me on my worst day. This is the Spit Bucket Podcast.